But in my case, after I served and got back home um, with my problems, bringing my problems out of Vietnam with me, uh, I found out that nothing had really changed. Things kind of remained the same. So in my uniform one day, hadn't been back long, but in my uniform, I decided I'd go into this little burger joint, little local burger joint, and stood there 15, 20, 30 minutes. And they were waiting on people all around me. And in my case, I really couldn't figure out what was going on. And I looked across to the back end of the restaurant, and I saw this young black man back there ordering his hamburger through maybe a tube of 2 foot window. And I said, well, that's where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be back there. After serving this country, I got to go around back to purchase a hamburger. The things that a military person goes through as far as discipline, respect, understanding, helping another person regardless of race, creed, or color, what you are exposed to in the military is a different height as far as unity, as far as camaraderie, as far as trusting another person. It's much deeper than the average American citizen ever receives or experiences.
Coming back from a deployment, when you're there, you're on 24/7. And a lot of the vets that have issues coming back from deployment, a lot of people coming back from deployment, when you're on in that high tense dynamic, who do you trust, and with politics and policies, can I trust the people I work for, constantly on edge, and you're at that extreme high stress response for 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, depending, and then add on to everything else going on, what's going to kill me, what's not. It's hard to flip that switch right back off. Being in that high stress environment, all that to the body, just the stress response itself, just the physiological and physical response, what that does wears you out, not just mentally and otherwise. A lot of it is we don't teach people how to live a good, balanced life and cope with life, with what we're being. We talk about resilience and have these programs, and I think the military, we had the yellow ribbon, let's go here and kumbaya and get back. But do we have the right people leading those reintegration, so to speak, areas? Is it the right people? Do they understand? You don't know what I did or what I've been through, so how can you help me, cope with what I've got going on? Is maybe understand that the military is it's not a cult, it's not just mindless, that it is actually well thought out, and that the people that are a part of it are exactly the same as the people that live in their neighborhood. It's still a representation of everybody in the United States, has the same issues that everybody else has.
You get back home, you've changed. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Depending upon where you've been in theater, what you've been exposed to. I mean, I spent my first year when I was in my first deployment when I was in the Army in Iraq. I had guys on the road. I was a platoon leader for 44 guys. They're out there driving trucks, doing convoy escorts, and my thoughts are totally shifted from what I was at with the family to worrying about where these guys are at, what they're going through. We just took a hit on this convoy. Did I lose anybody? They come back. We got lucky. The company I was with, we didn't lose anybody. But we did have a number of people that were sent back to the States for various reasons. And in 2006 and 7, all of the material that was going back to the States went through mortuary affairs. So I was a summary courts martial officer, and I would have to go through an inventory and do a full inventory list of everybody's material, get it packaged up, and take it to mortuary affairs on the post. We were in Toledo. We always had wounded and dead coming in and going out through mortuary affairs. We had 18 people out of the company that I was with that were redeployed back to the States. So I'm in there at least 2 to 3 times for every individual that had to be redeployed back to the States. I'm in mortuary affairs, surrounded by dead bodies and the people and the stuff that had to be done with that. That was difficult. If I could really give the depth and feeling and, it doesn't matter race, color, creed. When you're out on a battlefield and you've got somebody behind you who has your back, and you know they have your back, you can't do that in the civilian world for the most part. Most of the civilians, it's a dog-eat-dog world, especially in the corporate world. That's what I'd really love to give them, is that sense of brother and sisterhood that we have as military members that the civilian populace just does not really get.